What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got some rank 2 7-star Werewolf by Night gameplay to show you. Werewolf is one of my latest rank 2s, my latest Titan pool pull. It's a tongue twister. And I would say he is probably my favorite so far. I am a big fan of Iron Man, and I'm very happy to have him now as a 7-star rank 2 awakened. But Werewolf was one of my favorite characters from 2023. Came out in the same month that Morbius came out, and honestly got quite undershadowed because, you know, there was so much hype around Morbius being a 7-star that was accessible to most people who bought the triple-double pass when it came out. And Werewolf just kind of got left in the dust, but you actually take the time, you play Werewolf, you learn how to use him, and he's a pretty fun character. He's got some great damage, very bursty, and yeah, he's just a great time. So I took him to rank 2 as a 7-star. Again, like I said, one of my favorite champions from last year. And we're just doing a little gameplay, a little showcase. I originally had a 6-star rank 4 or rank 5 Werewolf showcase, so just doing an updated version for the more powerful Werewolf by Night. So that was Realm of Legends Captain Marvel in 60 seconds. No big deal. Now we have a path. Well, let me preface here. This path, I'm going to show the first attempted fight with this Hyperion, and you'll clearly see that, you know, not all of my runs and all of my recordings are perfect. I'm just here trying to bait a special attack. Wide open, and Hyperion doesn't do anything. So I'm just going to restart this path because, you know, what am I supposed to do about that? But this path, as you're going to see, is 8.3.6. It is the Cosmic path where you get the parry vulnerability Fury, so Mystic champions thrive here. I've got a couple of fights to show off here on this path, Hyperion of course being one of them. Very annoying to start off him just not wanting to throw a special attack. I think I wait a little bit here, making sure that I'm still recording, and I go right back in. So yeah, there's nothing much really new that's happened or transpired with Werewolf. There's a lot of alternative methods to gain his howl. So you'll see that I'm not always going to dash back and let him idle to howl. You saw right there that I dashed back and I tossed a light attack into the air, and that triggered the howl. So I'm not exactly sure if this is going to ever get patched, but Werewolf has multiple ways to trigger the howl, and not all of them are like ways you would think of. So of course he has the normal way to trigger it, where you just dash back and you let him idle, and there's the light attack way that I just showed off. But also, if you throw a heavy attack and then cancel that heavy attack into a relic, you will also howl. You will also trigger the howl during the relic. Additionally, there's one more way to do it. If you go for a light backdraft intercept after, I believe, 1 to 2 light attack hits, so let's say you go medium, light, light, and you land a light backdraft into a combo, you can also trigger the howl that way. So I believe I do that in this video. I kind of go through all of the different ways that you can trigger his howl. I wouldn't say this is something that you want to get used to, at least for right now, although it has been a couple of months and he's functioned like this the same way. So they might just be leaving it in as an alternative way to access the howl. And, you know, I think it's fine. I think it doesn't really add any advantage to using Werewolf. It just allows you to fit him into different situations where maybe you don't have the time to dash back and idle, but you have the time to intercept, and it allows you to use him to the fullest potential and not like mess up the rotation. Speaking of messing up the rotation, I just got clipped there because I tried to howl and then immediately dex. It is possible you can do that with stuff like Infamous Iron Man and Bishop's Special 2, but you have to be careful making sure you time the dex properly and you're not preemptively dexing and then losing your howl, because if you do get hit, the howl goes on cooldown and you don't get any more of the power gain until it comes back. So beware with stuff like that if you're trying to fit the howl into certain special attack dexes and whatnot. We parried his special 2 there to gain the parry vulnerability, which is the huge Fury that's boosting our damage here. He wouldn't even need the Fury, to be completely honest. It's just nice to have because it's a showcase video. He's a Mystic. He's getting all the benefits from this node. Might as well, you know, juice him up a little bit, have some fun, have a good time. All of the other fights in this video do not have any sort of Fury enhancement. It's just for the sake of this node, for the sake of making it a little quicker. We have the 75% Fury from parry vulnerability, making things nice and, you know, juicy. So Cable, a little annoying here because you can't fully dex his special 1 anymore. As you can see, I was trying there, and I got almost the whole way, but they added that little extra hit at the very end, so you can no longer fully dex it. I believe this was changed specifically because of the Cable in Abyss, where you take damage every time he hits you if you critically hit him, and those charges don't go away. So being able to fully dex his special 1 would mean you would never get hit by him. So they definitely changed that intentionally, but what are you going to do about it now? It's way later in the game. We're a few years after that change, and nothing really happened. That's too big of a deal. You know, a Cable in a side quest is not gonna end the world if you can't dex a special 1. One thing I do want to note is Werewolf, he's pretty tanky. He's got the 4th highest health pool in the entire game, and that's saying a lot. You know, that's compared to like Sasquatch, Titania, some big boys and big girls up there. I believe he is number 4 currently. So the 7-star rank 2, and of course 7-star rank 3 if you have that. Just a lot of health to deal with. Even though he's not the best defender for something like War or Battlegrounds, his animations are funky enough to trip people up, and that health is just going to make him a wall to go through with certain champions not named Human Torch and Scorpion. So this is the final fight for this Mystic quest here. I didn't want to do the whole lane because I had already shown the whole lane the last time I did the Werewolf Showcase, so just a few more fights to kind of gauge the difference between a 7-star Werewolf and then a 6-star Werewolf with the full moon. As you can see, no fights on this lane or this entire video, I believe, have the full moon active. Maybe the Battlegrounds fight with Maestro has the full moon. I don't exactly remember, but every other fight aside from that one, potentially, no full moons. There's no bonus howling, I forget, there's no bonus lycanthropy charges to start with. If you don't know, whenever there is a full moon in the real world, Werewolf by Night will start the fight with 3 lycanthropy charges, so it helps his ramp up significantly. It helps him get going with only 2 howls, basically. Like, you only need to really focus on getting one of them without doing anything, just doing the idle or doing the intercept, and then once you land that second one, you're already fully ramped. So here's the Battlegrounds fight. I think we have a full moon here. Yeah, so you're going to see in this fight how to work him with the full moon. The whole idea with Werewolf is you want to trigger the howl, your first howl, as soon as possible so you can cross that bar of power threshold. And then once you've done that, what I like to do is I like to build up to 1.9 bars of power, use my special 1, and then once I howl again, by the time I'm going to get to a special 2, I'll have at 10 or, you know, crossing the threshold of 10 lycanthropy charges, and I'll be able to trigger my Curse of Lycanthropy, get the big bonus damage from the ruptures, the increased potency, big special 2, and yeah, this rank 2 7-star Maestro is melting. We've only been in this fight for about 30 seconds here, and Werewolf is absolutely crushing it. I will try and record a lot more Werewolf gameplay in the next season of Battlegrounds. I didn't get to use him that much because I had taken him out of my deck as a 6-star rank 5. I just wasn't using him as much, but once I got the 7-star, I threw him back in and he was doing a lot better for me. Maybe it was just the psychology of not wanting to have Werewolf in there because he wasn't doing that well, just in the meta in general, but once I got the 7-star, I was like, I'll throw him back in, and he ended up being pretty good. So he probably would have been good as a 6-star rank 5 regardless, but I just wanted to throw the 7-star in there because he's a good time, you know? A lot more damage, the stat focus is really nice, getting that special damage increase. It's a good time with Werewolf, and it really benefits him. He likes to have the 7-star combat power rate at max ramp, so he really benefits from being a 7-star. Unless you have him at 6-star rank 5, you're definitely going to notice the reduction in his own power. So the 7-star just, it feels so much better than the 6-star at like a rank 4 level. A rank 5 ascended 6-star would feel very similar to the 7-star rank 2, but you know, once I get this guy ranked up even further, because I guarantee that Werewolf will be one of my 7-star rank 3 Mystic options. We're all under the assumption, I say we all are, as in the community, we're all assuming that the rank 3 available from the conclusion of Act 8 will be a 2 to 3 random gem. So if I end up getting Mystic from that gem, it is almost certainly going to go to Werewolf by Night. I would have no hesitation in doing that. There are not many other Mystic champions in general that I would want to rank up over Werewolf, and not many Mystic 7 stars, you know, because that's a limited pool itself, and there's not many other characters I would want to rank over Werewolf. He's one of my favorite Mystics in the game, and I'm so happy to have him now as a 7 star at the highest possible power level, and just continuing to use him, going forward. That's going to be it, guys. I really appreciate you all sticking around watching this short little Werewolf by Night showcase video for my rank 2 7 star. Please hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you are not. It helps me out, and it makes it easier to make videos like this when people are subscribing and the numbers are going up. And you know, the more viewers, the more likely I am to reach a better audience and help more people and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.